Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 17. I am Trevor and with me this week I have Jared. Hey mate.
Hey mate. Hey. Big fan.
Oh yeah?
Happy to be here, yeah.
Oh mate.
Finally.
Great to have you. I basically begged you to come on. Big fan.
Huge.
Chatting to you before the show, it's become clear to me you don't watch this show.
No.
Better things?
Oh, not really, no. But, just, time poor.
Time for. I understand. Everybody, we're on YouTube obviously. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, that kind of thing. If you don't mind, share the link. If you hit that notification bell, you'll get a little update when we do a video as well. We're also on SoundCloud. You can listen to us there if you don't want to see this. SoundCloud.com. Message me on allsportsweekly@outlook.com if you'd like to get in touch. I'm on Twitter at allsportsweekly and leave any comments down below with anything we're chatting about, mate. All right, Jared, what have you been watching this week, mate?
Well, obviously NRL.
Yes.
Magic Round.
You watched a bit of it?
I saw the Friday games, working the rest of the weekend, so just seen some highlights of the others.
Mm-hmm. How did
yeah.
the Broncos play away games at home?
Ooh.
Magic.
Good one.
Boom, boom. You like that? Yeah, so I watched a bit of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's pretty good. I like the concept.
Mm.
I think it's here to stay.
I hope so, yeah.
I think there's some talk that they're going to move it around. I think it should stay in Brisbane. I am a bit biased, but I also think we get behind these things a bit more than if you take it somewhere else, you might be a bit disappointed with the turnout. But I watched a bit of that too. Anything else, mate?
With Magic Round?
Just anything you've been watching?
Plenty of hockey.
Yeah.
Playoffs have started. Best time of the year for me, I think.
Yeah. That's why I've got you here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're my hockey guy. And we're going to talk about that. We'll start with the NRL. Okay. I'm just going to quickly go through the scores for Magic Round. Obviously, every game at Suncorp. Tigers 36, Knights 18. Good win for the Tigers. The Knights were bad. They were bad. The errors were shocker.
Yeah.
I tipped that one. Sea Eagles 50. A rare Friday night game for the Broncos.
Yeah.
And an away game.
Yeah.
At home. 50-6.
Yeah, some vintage Broncos there, really.
Vintage Broncos.
Lately.
Already talking about next year.
Yep.
Bulldogs 18, Raiders 20. That one, the Raiders just had to win. Had to win that one.
Yeah, got a scare, didn't they?
After, I think, 5 or 6 defeats in a row, they just had to win that one. Nearly buggered it up. Sharks 22, Rabbitohs 32. Went to script. Yep. Roosters 30, Cowboys 16. Pretty tight game, that one. The sort of closer than the scoreline would have you think.
Okay, yeah.
That one was pretty tough.
Yeah, didn't see that one.
Warriors 18, Eels 34. Eels just blew them off the park.
As they do.
Early. Really played. The first 20-30 minutes from the Eels was really, really strong. Storm smoked the Dragons 44-18. And the Titans 12, Panthers 48.
Yeah.
Okay.
As expected, hey?
Yeah. Okay, so Magic Round, like it, don't like it?
Love it.
Love it?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good atmosphere. I'm thinking next year I might make a bit of a go of it. Take the time and actually sort of get some tickets for the few days. Make a bit of a thing of it.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
100%.
Now, look, the Broncos, mate, my favourite team to talk about. I know it's kind of just me kind of having a joke, but should they be allowed to play that game as an away game? What are your thoughts to that? Because let me just put into context. Like, for example, this week, Souths are playing a home game in Dubbo.
Okay.
Parramatta play a home game in Darwin. Canberra play a home game in Bath. Broncos play home games at home.
Yeah.
They never, ever take one anywhere. And they get to play an away game at home. With the Magic Round concept, so they're going to be... It's at Suncorp Stadium, right? So they're going to be the home team.
Yeah.
Surely it could be a home game. Does this even matter? Am I just,
I don't think it matters, but you've got a good point. Like, why not just make it a home game?
Yeah, That's right. I mean, Manly get paid some sort of money to this, but that's I don't like it. I mean, you might think, shut up, Trev. This is nothing. It's an extra home game. I mean, I know they run out of the other away sheds, but come on, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like, what difference does it make, really?
Well, if it doesn't make a difference, then what does it matter?
I mean, they got flogged by 50 points.
Exactly, but you know what I mean? It just goes to show you the power of that team.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see them not only play the Magic Round game at home as a home team, because they are at home, but also take, like every other team, maybe Melbourne don't do it, but no, they take a game to Adelaide. Yeah, and I think every team basically takes one home game somewhere, except for them.
Yeah.
It's like, you come to us, mate. That's what they say.
It's always been that way, hasn't it? With the Broncos.
Yeah, it has. So anyway, I'll get over it, but just a little thing that just makes us...
There's a lot of little things with you on the Broncos, isn't there?
There is a few. There's a few. Adam Reynolds. Now, this is the big positive news for the Broncos. 3 years, $2.4 million. Thoughts?
Good.
Good signing?
Great deal, yeah.
Sort of signing that
Is it 3 years or 4 years?
No, it's 3. I actually heard it was 4, but no, it is 3. Okay. So $800,000 a year.
Even better.
Souths are only offering him 1 year. Now, I don't know if that's simply because Souths have just got salary cap problems, or do they know something that we don't know? 3 years.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, well, apparently he's gone through, at his request, a medical to prove that he's fit and ready to go. Did the same with the Sharks.
They need a playmaker badly.
I think if they only get two good years out of him, that's still a good deal for the Broncos.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get you, because they need something. But if you only get 2 good years out of him, then he's a $1.2 million player.
I'm still okay with that.
You're okay?
Yeah. With the way the Broncos are going now, and the way they have previously spent their money, I'm okay with that.
The leadership has been an issue for sure.
Yeah.
He's the sort of player you get organisational, playmaker, kicking game and all that, but he also, other players are probably more inclined to sign as well.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to have Katoni Staggs playing 5'8", you need Adam Reynolds playing next to him.
Yeah, the whole Staggs 5'8" thing, I'm not sure about.
No idea. I'll see how it goes.
Now, the big thing about Magic Round, other than the concept in the game itself, was the referee. Now, I actually listened back to last week's show. I know you didn't, mate, but I did. I had this little spiel about rugby union and about how the officialdom has got itself into this huge bind. You could nearly cut and paste everything I said about rugby union last week, insert it into this week for rugby league. Like flicking a switch, they have just said, right, this is it. And if you listen to Peter V'landys, he's like, this is it forever.
Yeah.
It all came about from Parramatta's Dylan Brown. Dirty as. Gives a guy a pneumothorax.
Yeah.
Doesn't even get sanctioned or anything. Posthumously, he got put on report.
Yeah.
The fans, the refs, everyone went, hang on. Now, over the Magic Round, 3 players were sent off and 14 players were sin binned.
Yeah.
Did you see any of this?
I did. I saw some highlights of it, and I also saw the Broncos game and what happened there.
Because I missed that game live, but the Bronx were badly affected when they had a few players.
Yeah, like they were going to lose anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I think... who did they play?
The Broncos, they played Manly.
Manly ran in two tries or 3 tries in that 10 minutes.
Right, yeah. There was a couple like Papali's sent off. That was pretty dirty.
Yeah, that's
the guy who cleaned up Pappenhausen. Yeah.
Yep.
But a couple of them there were shockers.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're going to do, because I've just been listening today to a bit of the NRL. If you remember the Tedesco one, he kind of fell on his own down into the shoulder and chest of a player.
Yeah, which I think he does a lot.
He does seem to do that a bit.
Yeah.
The NRL have said that they will not take that into consideration. For players falls down, you're making a tackle, someone falls down right in front of you and their head hits your whatever, they're not going to factor that in to their consideration. I think that is a joke.
It is. It's ridiculous, and it's unreasonable to think
Yeah.
That's the players can adjust in that amount of time.
I understand. We seem to talk about concussion every week, and we're going to keep talking about it. It seems, but if you can't make some allowance in the game for an incident that has no one's got any fault to it, it's just an incident. Well, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest. We watch rugby league for the violence.
Well,
a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's brutality of it is yeah.
And if you start completely taking that out, which is going to happen if they keep going down this road, I think. Like I'm all for protecting players and outlawing head high tackles, but it's got to be done with a bit of common sense as well.
Have the lawyers ruined the world?
Always.
Sorry to any lawyers watching.
Always.
But yeah, they have. All right. Well, so this will bleed into our next subject, which is the hockey. Now, before we talk about the hockey, I've got a comment from Grant Archibald. I actually saved it knowing you were coming on. So we're talking about concussion and HIA, and you could answer me a question. Grant said he'd probably add ice hockey to the list of brutal sports along with the NRL and the NFL. And he wasn't sure what the NHL concussion protocols are, but imagine as a parent how you'd feel if your child wanted to play this sport. What are the concussion protocols in hockey like compared to, say, the NRL?
As far as I know, I think they're fairly similar.
Okay.
So you get a hit to a head, there's an observation period, and testing you have to pass.
And they're wearing PPE, obviously.
Yeah, so they're wearing helmets and face visors, not normally full face, but half face visors.
Yeah.
As well as all your other protective equipment. But as far as I know, there's observation and testing they have to pass before they go back on the ice.
Okay. So, because I saw a game the other week there where there's about 5 proper fights in one game. And so how does that reconcile with, you've got a sport with HIA and then you've got, well, this is part of the game and fighting's okay.
So that's an interesting point, because if you get hit in the head with a shoulder during play, then I think that the protocols come into play. If you get punched in the face during a fight, it's fine.
Right.
You sit down, you're 5 minutes in the penalty box, and then carry on afterwards.
Is there any, in the ice hockey community, is there anyone trying to stop the fights? Because there is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to be, like, the fans love it.
It will never happen.
The players seem to love it.
The fighting has definitely, there's not as much fighting now as there used to be.
Right.
But it's a part of the game, and it's still a skill that's used by individual players and by teams for swinging momentum and things like that. So
get an edge on a player. Yeah, okay.
And it's also used as protection from other players on the other team hitting your players. So you can't just go around hitting star plays with dirty hits, because then you're going to have to fight someone on the other team to answer that. That
fight that match the other day with all those fights just all happening simultaneously, that was one from the old days, that one.
That was.
You told me a bit about the war of words
background,
but that was just like, for those who didn't see it, what were the 2 teams again? Capitals?
Washington and New York Rangers.
Basically, the puck drops to start the match, everyone throws the sticks away, and it was in.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah, I think 5 fights in the first couple of seconds.
Yeah. And
then another one about 30 seconds after that.
Yeah, no, it was like something from the old days for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just interesting because, we don't, obviously, I'm a part-time fan of hockey and I wouldn't have a clue about concussion and stuff, so that's interesting. They do have those protocols. As for parents wanting their kids to play, I guess they probably put their faith in the safety gear. But, yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a big part of the training that they get when they're young, or when they become early teens, is how to take a hit, how to receive a hit,
right,
and to do so without getting injured.
Okay.
But there's always going to be blindside hits that you can't prepare for.
Because it's a proper shoulder charge on ice, hard surface, padding,
high speed.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a collision sport.
Yeah. And that's what people love about it.
Yeah, because we were posing the question a while back with NRL when I think Matt was on here. There's 2 ways they can go. They can basically say, playing rugby league, just getting back to rugby league for a second, rugby league is dangerous, and if you play it, there's a risk. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep.
Sign a waiver, or we're going to modify the game to this extent. It seems disappointingly like they're going to go that way.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
We might be talking about the good old days. We might, you know what I mean? It might be. Like, State of Origin's coming up.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Mate.
And if it's going to remain State of Origin, like the State of Origin we all know and we all love.
I don't know. And so there's no talk of hockey sanitising it. Big hits are part of it, and that's it. So that's refreshing.
Yeah.
That's good.
So.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, the hockey, the NHL, the playoffs are on at the moment. So in the West, we've got Colorado, Vegas, Minnesota, and St. Louis have gone through. In the Central, we've got Carolina, Florida, Tampa, and Nashville. In the East, Pittsburgh, Washington, Boston, and the Islanders, New York Islanders. And in the Scotia North, mate, my beloved Maple Leafs, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Montreal, the Habs, our arch rivals. Looking down, I see Vancouver down the bottom, mate. No playoffs.
No playoffs.
Any Vancouver fans watching? But you've still managed to find a way to play in playoff week.
Yeah, so they're...
What's going on, mate?
They're holding up the start of the North Division playoffs.
Yeah.
About a month or so ago,
Yeah.
Vancouver have a big COVID outbreak. A lot of players, a lot of coaches out. So
Yeah.
they postponed a whole heap of games. And they're making them up now.
I understand those games need to be played, but those teams can't make the playoffs.
No.
So why do they
Neither
hold
team
up?
can make the playoffs.
Why do they hold up the playoffs then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I it's got to do maybe with TV broadcasts and things like that,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Okay.
So
Be the only games that Vancouver fans will be watching, mate.
not
a big
watching
Canucks
it.
fan. Just making us wait. All right, so let's have a quick look, mate. The West. Now, Colorado has won the West by a bare margin over Vegas. Now, did Vegas make the Stanley Cup last year?
No.
The year before?
They made the playoffs, didn't make the final.
The year before. That's the one I'm remembering.
Yes.
Yeah, when they were a brand new team.
Yeah, first year.
Righto. So Colorado won less games than Vegas, but still got on top. Colorado, where does the power lie in this division, mate?
For me, Colorado is the favourite to win the Stanley Cup.
Right. Interesting.
I think they're the
They've
best,
only- yeah,
best
okay.
team in the league.
Now, okay, and because I thought Vegas would be a good shot, but
They
got
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
they got shut out by Minnesota in game 1.
Yep.
Does that factor into anything?
No, I think they'll win that series. Colorado will win their series, and it'll be a great round 2 matchup.
So you got Colorado winning the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I think so.
I'm just looking here. They lost 39-13. There's better records out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think on paper, they've got, well, definitely one of the best teams, best rosters.
Yep.
And Nathan McKinnon, I think he is single-handedly going to propel them all
He's
the way.
the man,
all the
right?
way, yeah.
MVP.
After how disappointed in particular he was at the way they lost to Dallas last year, I think he's been waiting all year for this chance again.
Okay. In the Central, mate, the Hurricanes have won the division. Are they a real threat, though? Are they making up the numbers in the bigger picture?
Oh, they're not making up the numbers. No. I don't think they can make it out of that division.
You don't think so?
I think they'll beat Nashville.
Well, they're up 1-0. So this is just the results this morning. We're catching up
Yeah.
with those. Carolina are up against Nashville.
Yeah.
And Tampa seem to be the other big threat from the Central, who are beating Florida.
Yeah.
You rate Tampa?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
'cause they've had
Stanley
the-
Cup champions from last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And they've had a couple of big ins at the start of the playoffs. Two of their best players are back.
Who are they?
Steven Stamkos and Kucherov. So both missed most of the season,
Really?
and they're back for the playoffs. So
Big ins, you reckon?
yeah, I
Okay.
think they're a very good team. But I've just got a funny feeling about Florida. I think Florida might upset them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Downey match now, but okay. Well, I think there's another game of that one tomorrow, I
Yeah,
believe.
I will say that game 1, best game of all the playoffs so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, one to
Yeah.
watch there if you
Great
got
game.
it at your disposal. Now, in the East, mate, the East is always pretty strong. You know,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, right there. They've got those historic teams that seem to be up there
Yeah,
all
yeah.
bloody time. Pittsburgh, Washington, Boston, and the Islanders. Now, I was going to ask you, does the winner of the East win the Stanley Cup? But you've already sort of put your prediction out there. Do you think the East is as strong as it has been in previous years? Because, I mean, Pittsburgh and Washington, Boston, you got the Red Wings up there, they're always up there and thereabouts.
I think the 4 teams there now are all pretty evenly matched, to be honest. I think there's a couple of little changes, particularly with goaltending with the teams, where some teams have...
Okay. Well, the big news this morning, the Bruins had a match against Washington Capitals. Friend of the show, Tony South, his beloved Capitals there, were winning 1-1. Went to overtime, 39th second of overtime. The Bruins have evened up that series 1-1.
Yeah.
And the Islanders are leading 1-0 against the Penguins, which I think that's probably against the form too. I think people think Pittsburgh are a pretty good team.
Yeah, I can't remember where they finished in the standings. I think maybe
Pittsburgh first and Islanders fourth.
Yeah,
so.
And towards the end of the season, Pittsburgh was on fire. They won a big run. I think they're due to get Evgeny Malkin back. I think maybe for game 2 as well. Who's a big player for them.
If Pittsburgh go out early in the playoffs, that'll be a good little thing for a few of the other teams out there.
Yeah,
they got the pedigree. But, how many Stanley Cups have Pittsburgh won? Millions.
A few.
A few.
4, I think.
Really?
Maybe.
It feels like more.
4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay.
But they've over the last 10 years since Crosby's been with them, Sidney Crosby, they've been perennially.
Yeah, they're always around.
But I think Islanders will be tricky for the other teams as well if they go through.
Okay.
They can be tricky.
Now, the North, my beloved Maple Leafs. Now, if you don't know, guys, Maple Leafs are a bit of a powerhouse in fans and standings and stature in the game. Haven't won the Stanley Cup since 1966, mate. Long time.
Yeah.
Finished the top of the North.
Yep.
Actually look pretty good this year. Can be a bit of a choker in the playoffs. Playing our arch rival Montreal, the Habs. First time we've met in a playoff since 1979. Thoughts on this series? Are we gonna tell me what I want to hear, mate? Tell me what I want to hear.
I will. I think Leafs will win.
Yep.
I think probably in 6 games.
Okay.
I think.
A little tight for my liking.
Yeah, I think Montreal have the character to not get swept. I think they'll win 1 or 2 games in that series.
First game, I think Saturday in Sunday morning our time, I believe. Yeah. Waiting for those bloody Vancouver.
It's going to be entertaining because there's next to no defense played in the North. It's all offense. So
yeah,
if you like goals, watch these
that
series.
One. High scoring, you reckon?
I think so. Yeah.
And are Edmonton a contender, mate, or is it all about Toronto?
Oh no, yeah, I don't think they are a contender.
Good.
Not yet. Maybe. I mean, they've got best player in the world.
Yeah.
And he's running mate. So maybe. Who knows?
All right, mate. Appreciate that. And just quickly, overall thoughts. You've got Carolina. Who are they going to beat? Colorado. My bad. Who are they going to beat in the Stanley Cup?
In the final. Depends how the reseeding works once they get out of the divisions. But
so it's hard to say. Who's the second best team then? Maple Leafs. Yeah. Maple Leafs. Is that what you're going to say?
I kind of do want to say Maple Leafs.
Yes,
but
you heard it here first. But Maple Leafs, let's go.
It is the Maple Leafs. I know. I don't know.
I'm still trying to get over the Bruins thing. That's like 5 years ago, and I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's their MO, isn't it? That's the Leafs MO, unfortunately. So.
All right, mate. Moving along to football now. We've had a big week in football. Manchester City have been crowned the Premier League champions. Came about after Man United lost 2 games in 2 days. We lost to Liverpool, we lost to Leicester. Mathematically, it is not possible for Man City to be run down. They have celebrated their premiership. It was a 4-month. They had it won at Christmas. Not Christmas, but not long after. I think they're 10 points clear, so Man City win that. Now, you've spent a bit of time in the UK. Yeah. Have you got an allegiance anywhere? It's hard not to.
Fulham. Fulham's my team, yeah. Okay, I believe not die hard, but...
Man U plays Fulham this weekend, I believe.
They do, yes.
Okay, well, on that front then, so Liverpool have scored... Their keeper, Alisson, who was much maligned in that Champions League final, if you remember, the 95th minute has scored a goal. The keeper scoring a goal doesn't happen every day.
No.
Beats West Brom. keeps top 4 hopes alive. They're currently 1 point behind Chelsea, 3 points behind Leicester. So the battle for the top 4 is on.
Yeah.
Fulham,
Gone.
relegated.
Yeah.
West Bromwich, relegated. Sheffield United, relegated. Done. So those 3 teams will be plying their trade in the championship next year, and that's a big blow, being relegated, obviously.
Yeah.
Now on that coming up, Norwich City are up, Watford are up, and the playoffs are happening at the moment. Now these are regarded as the richest games in world football.
Yep.
The financial realities of playing in the championship to the Premier League, I don't know the pound figure of it, but it is a lot of money.
It is, yeah. I don't know exactly how much, but it is. It's
a lot of money.
Big reward.
Big money. So Bournemouth have beaten Brentford this morning in the first leg. These are 2 legs, 1-0. Anyone who knows Brentford knows that their playoff record is absolutely abysmal.
Yep.
For about 100 years, they've been losing.
They're always there.
They're always there. The Bees, the Brentford Bees, it would be a dead set miracle if they progress. Yeah. They need to just go through automatically. The playoff thing, they just can't do it.
Bournemouth got to finish first or second.
That's right, first or second. And Barnsley have been beaten by Swansea at home. Swansea might be the Welsh flying the Welsh flag in for next season. So keep your eye on that one.
Yeah.
And Leicester have won the FA Cup final last weekend. It was their 5th final in their club history, the first time they've ever won it. Haven't made the final since '69. They beat Chelsea 1-0. So look, they beat Chelsea in the final, Man City in the semi, and Man United in the quarter.
Yeah.
They haven't had some dream run. They've beaten the top teams. Are they, when we talk about the Super League and these top clubs, Leicester won the comp, 2-3 years ago. They've just won the FA Cup. They've got to be... are they one of the top teams? This isn't streaky.
I think they are. If not, they're very, very close.
I mean,
surely.
The consolidated revenue year in, year out, they are a powerhouse now.
Yeah.
I mean, where
did they finish in the league?
They're currently running 3rd.
Right, okay, yeah.
So as we mentioned, Liverpool has still got something to say about it and so forth. But if it goes to form, they'll make the top 4.
Yeah.
They'll make the Champions League again.
Yeah.
They beat Man U in the Premier League the other day. This is a big...
I think surely they've done enough to be considered in the top tier.
But they weren't considered in the Super League, mate.
No.
Don't start me on that again.
Yeah.
No.
What a good idea that was.
What a great idea that was. And just quickly in the A-League, Melbourne City have streaked away 11 points clear of Central Coast in second. The Raw at one point were looking pretty good, had games in hand and looked like they might even go to second. They've squandered their position. Last 3 games, they've only taken 1 point and they're clinging on to 6th. So just keep an eye out. The A-League has got about 3 or 4 games to go and we'll chat about that in a bit. And just quickly, I just want to gloss over this rugby, mate. We had the Trans-Tasman, 5 games. New Zealand teams won all 5.
You surprised?
Well, not surprised, but I was, Australian rugby fans had a little string in the step. We've been knocked down. Admittedly, there was a couple of tight ones. Crusaders only just beat the Brumbies. Force only lost by a point. But then the Reds, I think they were still hungover. Got smashed.
Yeah. What was it, a week after?
Yeah. Hungover. But it was the last place Kiwi team beat us 40-19.
Okay.
So it's just a little reminder that where we're at. Okay, mate. 1 hot minute.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Is Kevin Walters a good coach?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's settling in.
Righto.
I think he'll be good.
Should NRL clubs be given a concession to keep players as one club player?
Yeah. I like that idea.
You like that idea?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of talk.
Yeah.
Who is the dirtiest player in the National Hockey League?
Oh. That's tough.
Hit me with a name.
Tom Wilson is the easy choice. Yeah.
Is Paul Gallen a grub or a great sportsman?
I've got to say a grub because he's New South Wales captain.
Will the football Super League concept come back?
No. No way.
Should the Olympics be happening in this 2021?
Ooh.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Guys, we are bang out of time. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
See you all next week and have a great week. Thanks for everyone for watching.